That was beautiful. It's going in my diary. Let's hope I can live up to it. I'm just going to get into it. I'm a little nervous. Okay. So I'm starting with an untitled poem. This is what must be done. This is the order in which what must be done must be done. Deviation is unpleasant. Think of your audience. The purple yellows and then disappears. Only the tentative color of skin regenerates. A young woman dons a navy sports coat and a thin striped tie, unsure as to her own reasoning, but citing something like familiarity and the intimately unlived experiences she assumes we all collect. Fingers drum against the fleshy round of thighs, struck that one may be immobile without trying. For this space, specks of misconstrued diligence are connected with a ballpoint pen, constellations brought to the body. We will find meaning here, or dance. A girl with soft brown hair is smiling and looking at her feet. You imagine talking to her. You imagine being her. You imagine now she is spinning, both hands locked. Her face is not your face, and there it is. Elephant teeth, discordant dings, short-nailed attempts to manage a soundtrack for an hourglass touching her forearms. The pudgy fingers warm the bruised fingernails, cracked and clearly purple underneath. The memories will reconfigure eternity into the acknowledgement that we are creators first and lovers second. Wait just a minute. She didn't shut that door on your hand because she didn't like you. This isn't personal. I'm gonna just go right into it. This one is called Flight. Then I understood the death she was performing, and I held her wrist away from her mouth. She began twitching to get me off. She left, her bloody wrist shaking in my hand, her fingers tapping at my feet. I sang, screamed. A person I'd never seen appeared. She spoke softly with the voice of butter in a European youth hostel. You're okay. I knew now she was a liar, but I let her inside. I let in quick. I let spread the warm where she sinned. She was leaving now. I thought the blades of her shoulder bones were especially suited for expansion. I thought maybe we could build a bird of her yet. Her heart beat out the door. I cried watching Rory and Lorelei full of untelevised and therefore abject futures. I ate ground beef and mushy green beans. I thought I'd write that young adult novel now. I fell asleep farting and embarrassed. So I tend to be like a single person poem, but I wrote these poems surrounding this character I call Ungirl. And I guess the best way to describe her is like a cisgender teenager who's like dealing with stuff. Gender identity and stuff. Okay, so I'm just gonna start. This was the genesis of these poems, this one. So, Ungirl. I walk in on my sister humping a pair of socks. That's how I get the idea to stuff them down my pants. I want someone to want me inside of them. The thing about socks, though, is no one wants a pair of socks in them, especially a pair of socks soaked in vag juice. Because sometimes my vagina gets excited by those socks. That's the really fucked up part. My vagina likes socks. But I like pretending those socks are mine, and I'm sticking them in Bridget Tonner, and she's moaning because her vagina is throbbing, and my mouth is around her breast, and I have nothing a baby might someday want. The first time I have sex, it's with Greg Leary. I cry. Greg looks hurt and scared and takes himself out of me as gently as he can. He lays next to me but doesn't touch me. He gets up to leave before my mom gets home. 2 weeks later, Alice tells me she saw him with Christina, the girl I get off to, my best friend. I start going to Natalie's house after school. She wears baggy clothes over a skinny body and keeps her hair shorter than most boys. First, it's just fingers. Then one day, she comes out of her bathroom with a strap-on in the place of her vagina. Fuck me. Okay, this poem is in the same series. It's called Ungirl and the Operation. It begins on a metal bed in a dirty bedroom. Young men with brown eyes speak Spanish to each other. The one near my vagina looks straight at me, and subtitles appear below his chin. It's all right, we're almost finished. I ask, what's almost finished? He looks confused. Maybe my subtitles are turned off. The only Spanish word I know aside from gracias and hola is a key for here. So I scream it, pointing at the sheet over my vagina. A key! A key! I yell, and then make the palms up, elbows bent at my side expression for confusion. The other man in puke green scrubs and matching surgical mask, which leaves only the skin around his eyes available for me to confirm he is a person, pats my shoulder and looks at me lovingly. The man near my vagina's subtitles read, all done. I look at him confused and he holds up a mirror toward me and my vagina. I look and see a line of stitches over closed flesh. My vagina? I question. The man's subtitles read, all gone, all better. The crunched laugh lines around his eyes show me that he's smiling. I say, what about the baby? Baby? What baby? The baby I'm supposed to have. No one said anything about a baby, so I have no baby? The men look at each other. The one without the subtitles says something I don't understand and makes the sign of the cross. The other one looks at me with uncrunched eyes and subtitles. Don't worry, we'll look. Then he bends down and rips open my stitches, but he looks too hard and my lower abdomen splits in half. Strangely enough, there isn't any pain aside from the man next to me crying openly. I'm gonna switch gears for a little bit. I wrote some poems about mental illness, just like anxiety and depression, which I think is average, but still something I want to like externalize somehow outside of me. But, okay, I'm just gonna read it. Generalized anxiety disorder. Just below the sternum, a shiver full of small birds, stark blue and bulbous cones blooming from blue iris, copper trill. Quickly now, quickly. A magnetic coming apart, bevy of blue birds, mouths spinning full threaded knot into amygdala gray garden, pecking leafy circuit, thinly forked veins thrill. Quickly now, quickly, look away. And this next one is also, it's a major depressive disorder, but it's a ekphrastic poem after La Cachette, a drawing by Alexandra Levasseur, who is like a French-Canadian lady, and I recommend her, so look her. It's kind of amazing. Okay, so major depressive disorder. I am lying in a floral wallpaper dream, as beautiful as any flat flower. My face is choking black, but like everything, you get used to it. I'd like to clarify that one should not interpret the darkness as a void. I have worn my bathing suit in preparation, immerse. Call her a lover I don't quite love, then make yourself indistinguishable, except for your body that still blooms beautiful. Okay, this next poem's gonna be my last poem. I just go back to the Ungirl poems. So this one's after French class, Ungirl's La Cachette spills. And La Cachette means hideout. What the fuck are you doing? I turn to face my inquisitor, fall against the locker, slide to the dirty linoleum. I try to hide, but salt pours out from my eyes, red cocoa butter bath scrub, fountaining. I rub the mix into my skin. I'm exfoliating. What the fuck is wrong with you? I don't think I am what I am. I'm calling your mom. Men in cheap ties try to move me. They insert their hands into my armpits, but dead weight won't carry. Christina's right. I need to diet. Instead, they direct the footed flood down different hallways, but all eyes make it to my stone bones, shooting salt and semen into the space one might imagine to be a personal bubble. Fuck them. Entitled matching bodies. My mom leans over me, gets her knees dirty. I think, come on, Mom, don't kneel in my bloody jizz. Way to scar a kid. She screams, my baby, talk to me. I continue to fountain. Soon we're gonna drown. I think she should go, but she just holds on crying. Baby girl, don't leave me. Thank you.